All right, episode 133. We're back, Rob.
133.
133. Larry Bird with a 1
Larry
in front
Bird.
of it. Yeah, that's a famous 33. It's the first one that
33.
comes to mind. I'm sure there's plenty of others.
Larry Bird.
Yeah. Numerology, man. It's all the rage, you know? So
Indiana. Larry Bird.
yeah, good times. All right, so we are recording this, and it doesn't matter when you're listening to it, but when we're recording it, it's Friday. So we're going to do a little Friday fun day. I thought it'd be fun. I'm just going to jump right into it. If that's okay.
Yeah.
And not talk about advertising and design really, and just kind of lean into Friday Fun Day.
It's Friday
and,
Fun Day.
Yeah, I mean, it's the end of a week, man. We've been doing a lot of advertising and design. Maybe we need a break from it, you know?
Yeah.
At the end of the day on a Friday. And rock out. This is always a fun one. And this is a fun one when you're doing
Get
photo.
ready. Strap in.
I know. Well, you know, it's kind of one of those like, you know, when you're on a photo shoot and there's all the downtime, or when you're on a production and you're just kind of shooting the bull and all that kind of stuff, right? Is the classic desert island quiz game, right? Oh, the sound
I was
machine
trying to
did-
do it.
There you go.
Yeah, but I was trying to do the beep, beep.
Yeah. The ow, ow, you know. Desert island. Like, hey, if you're trapped on a desert island, what, you know, like fill in the blank, right? And the classic go-to is always desert island candy bar. If you could only have one candy bar for the rest of your life, Rob.
Yeah.
And it would, you know, we're getting, just to get all the rule, you know, people out of the way and get that all, you know, it's not
the trolls.
Yeah, it's not a nutritional play. You're going to have you have coconuts and food and whatever
It's a
on your
simple
desert
question.
island. It's just, you know, and they're airdropping it in once a week or whatever it is. You know what I mean? This is, you know,
Doesn't matter.
yeah, don't get all in a wad of everything. You know, it's just, hey, you can only have one candy bar for the rest of your life, right? What candy bar are you picking is the question.
Yeah. It's a lot to think through.
Well, I think that
But
this
at the
is-
end of the day,
at the end of the day, okay.
I mean, I have my answer.
Okay, what is it?
It's going to be the most unpopular answer of all time.
The most unpopular? That's like Rolo or something. Or,
No, Rolo's delicious, though.
They are delicious. Yeah. Okay, what's the most
No.
unpopular?
Mine's going to be the classic Hershey bar.
That is pretty boring.
I told you it was going to be boring.
Yeah. The classic Hershey bar, like.
Yeah, here's why.
Okay.
Here's why.
Not even Cadbury's. I mean, Cadbury chocolate
Cadbury
is
is
far.
disgusting.
What are you talking about? It's far superior to
No,
Hershey's.
it's disgusting.
Okay. Was Robin eggs?
Here's why.
delicious.
Hershey's, it's a classic.
Okay.
It's always delicious.
It is.
You can eat it a number of different ways.
Okay.
So I think that takes care of a little bit of the boredom and monotony of being on the island.
Okay.
You can stack them. You
Yeah.
can break them.
Okay.
You can make shapes out of them.
Our approaches are vastly different.
If you have fire, you could melt it down
Yeah.
and make a nice warm topping with
Yeah.
it.
For your
And
coconuts.
I've never been let down by one. I've never regretted that choice in the candy bar aisle. Not once.
Before I jump in with mine, have you had any of the derivatives of the traditional Hershey? Like
I've
you have
had
the almond, the cookies and cream, you know, that
I've had
one?
them. I've had them all.
You had them all. We don't, no, none of them.
The OG. OG Hershey bar.
All right. M&M's or peanut M&M's? Which one would you have to pick?
On the island or in general?
No, this is just a side hatch conversation. You know, yeah. Since you're saying OG,
I gotta go.
Hershey-
If I gotta pick one for the rest of the time, I gotta go plain.
Really?
Yeah.
God, you are a simple person. I love
Yeah.
it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I do love. It's not to knock the peanut M&M because it's a delicious treat.
Yeah, but here's the good news. If we were trapped on the desert island together, we wouldn't be fighting over the same candy. It's kind of where we're at.
If you pick like a zero bar, I'm gonna slap you.
Charleston Chew.
Charleston Chew, yeah.
I do love a good Charleston Chew, which again has nothing in it and no one loves it except for me. So my family thinks I'm a freak. That is not my desert island candy bar though. My desert island candy. So you're going for simplicity. Okay.
Basic.
I'm going to go.
There's a lot I can do with it.
Yeah. I'm going to go completely the opposite. I'm going to go for complexity, you know, and
You're gonna go like.
as many ingredients as possible.
Can I guess?
Yeah, go for it.
As many. I mean, okay. I mean, are you gonna go classic Snickers?
No, it's too much. It's too much.
Too much.
It's a lot in there.
Oh, then
but
you want
it's
a
good.
Milky Way?
No, I'm going to go. It is Take 5. Take 5 is my favorite
worst
candy bar.
answer.
Now it has been.
horrible.
It has
Do
been.
you even buy those anywhere?
Hold on. It has been rebranded under the Reese's umbrella. It is now Reese's
Wonder
Take
why-
5.
wonder why.
Well, because no one was buying it, and the power of Reese's sells candy bars, right? It is a pretzel base. It is a waffle pretzel base, okay? snappy, crunchy,
Off to a
salty.
bad start.
Okay. Then
Already too
Then it is
complicated.
infused with Reese's. Reese's put on top of that. Okay. But wait, there's more. Caramel on top of that. And then
All wrapped in chocolate.
dunk that whole thing in chocolate. It is
Yeah.
a magical
you're gonna
wonderland.
go- but-
it is an explosion of flavor in your mouth.
It's too much. You're gonna get bored of that. You're
don't
gonna.
think so.
It's too much.
I don't think, I'd say before, my backup would be Twix. Okay, the classic.
Twix is a good bar.
Because Twix gives you both in terms of the crunch and the chocolate,
Yeah,
and the
sure.
and you can pull them apart, and then it's like I got my cookie on one side, I got my Rolo on the other, right? Forever, my answer probably would have been Twix. It's a
but
classic.
then you went to Take 5.
Go and take 5, baby. Take 5. I need a little 5-minute break on my desert island, to
All
just
right.
enjoy.
Just to Take 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
Break from all the other
Yeah.
work you'll be doing. Lashing together hut,
I mean, there's a lot of weaving
gathering,
of palm
there's
fronds.
palm fronds,
Yeah,
bowls,
Yeah.
fire, trying to make fire.
Yeah, I got all that. I was a Boy Scout, dude. I got all that covered. Like, we're good.
Well,
so
all
yeah.
right.
So Take 5. Yeah, Take 5 is my very unpopular, complicated answer. But
All right. Well, I'm gonna throw a question back.
okay, I love it.
Same island
Okay,
with your candy bar.
okay. So we're still getting the deliveries of the candy bars.
Still getting.
okay.
You still get to enjoy the treat.
Okay,
The
got
tasty
it.
treat. This
Got
is
it.
in addition to.
All right. And for the record, I would go peanut M&Ms.
While
on a
you're
regular
sitting now,
M&Ms.
and again, let me preface this by saying, nothing else matters but your answer. Don't ask dumb questions.
Okay. All right.
There's nothing practical about
Okay.
this. There's
got
nothing.
it. Got it. Got it.
Okay. On this island,
what's happening.
while you're enjoying your treat,
Yeah.
you get one album.
One album.
You have one album
Oh my lord.
to have on the desert island.
Okay, I'm gonna listen to this
One.
one album.
Album.
What's the perfect album?
You got to go one album.
Oh, dude, you can't put me on the spot like that.
Yeah. I mean, I need an answer. Like, there's no.
This is one of those like I would need to call a friend. You know what I mean? Like, help me
Understanding this
decide.
is a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
maybe not your final answer, but I need an answer.
I'm gonna go Iron Maiden Live After Death. That's my snap decision without thinking too much about it. But the first one that popped in my mind is Led Zeppelin 4. And I would my genre would clearly focus straight on rock. I mean, I would be a rock and roll kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
But I think I would go Maiden. I mean, they're my favorite band. I literally just drove to Charlotte to see them with my oldest. Throwback to the '80s. I would probably. I mean, honestly, I could listen to them every single day. And I
Yeah.
think I probably do, to be quite honest. So, now if I sat here for the next three hours and pondered this, there would be probably a bevy of different answers. And I'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, I didn't think about that one. Oh, I didn't think about this.
I don't think I could go. I would want something that's got a little bit of everything. It's got some rock, and I mean, your Zeppelin answer is not a bad one because on any Zeppelin album, you get a range
Yeah.
of relaxing,
For sure.
to classic, to some heavier stuff.
Yeah.
So I think I would need that range.
If you come in with like the soundtrack to some movie, I'm gonna throw a hissy fit over here, So
I don't know if you saw Mean Girls too, but
well, these singles remember what
great soundtrack.
That was a great soundtrack, but heavy rock and roll.
heavy rock and roll.
know,
So I think Zeppelin's not a, but then also I think through like, well, gosh, what if I'm on the island? What if I just want something like, what if I just lean into like, you know what?
Don't
I'm going to be super stressed out, so I may just go full Bob Marley
Yeah.
and just something chill that can be background music that can just, but
Totally.
it's going to relax me a little
It's an
bit.
acceptable answer. I will accept
Yeah.
Legend, right? I mean,
yeah,
what are you going to pick? I mean, what's your answer? You sprung this on us, Aaron. What's the answer? Phone a friend.
It's going to be Gorgoroth's second album.
Guar.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
No, I might. For purposes of right now, I might go Marley.
Okay.
I might just go
Wow.
like a Marley Legends.
I certainly would peg you for more of a singer-songwriter chill.
If I'm on that island, I need some. I don't want to get like too amped up.
You don't want to rage? There's no mosh pitting on the island?
I don't think so. I think there's a lot of coconutting and
Yeah. I don't know. I'm alive after death. So I think a good live album from a rock and roll band, Scorpions have a great live album.
Worldwide Live is one of the best.
Or Thin Lizzy, has a great, live, I don't know. I think a live album on a desert island might be nice.
Well, you feel like there are people around you.
Yeah. I want to
Close your eyes and pretend you're Pretend you're in a crowded
To your point, though,
venue.
Slayer Decade of Aggression, probably too much. A
little much.
Oh, well, I didn't consider the double disc. I don't know. Live After Death wasn't a double disc, I don't think. So anyway, it doesn't
Double
matter.
disc would be smart.
Yeah, that would be smart. So
More bang for your buck.
that's a tough one. That's a good one, though.
Yeah.
So that's a good one right up there with candy bars. So soda. What's your desert island soda? Or I don't really drink a lot of soda, but I mean,
Funny you say that. I don't ever drink soda either.
yeah.
And today I did.
I'll drink sparkling water. I'll drink like
I went to
LaCroix and stuff.
Taqueria today. Shout out Taqueria.
Delicious Atlanta
And
tacos.
I got a can of original classic Coca-Cola.
The full bore.
Yeah, and
Man.
it was
Not even the
delicious.
zero, like full
cold,
Coca-Cola.
ice cold classic Coca-Cola.
Man, those
Just
things are
Coca-Cola.
good, you know.
I would probably, if I had to pick one soda, I might go with that.
The original Coke.
Yeah, I might just go original. Oh, how boring! Original Coke and a plain Hershey bar and Bob Marley. Life
Yeah,
is
well,
good.
Bob Marley's not boring. I mean, that's throwing a little
Dude,
funk
think
in
about
there.
if you knock down one of those coconuts, just shave some of that off right on top of that little Hershey bar.
That's a good
I
idea.
mean, what happens if you put coconut on a take 5?
Just
Nothing, just more. It's just more noise.
Yeah,
It's
extra.
just more noise.
Yeah, I need to be distracted.
More noise for your mouth.
Well, what about just me spending hours and hours dissecting those Take Fives into the 5 different ingredients?
Yeah.
And then I've got a bowl of pretzels over here.
That's true.
I've got a bowl of caramel over there, you know? So,
That's true.
I don't think Coke is I mean, dude, it's
classic.
It's classic. It's delicious. I don't think that's boring at all, unlike the, Hershey bar.
I mean, Dr. Pepper's a good one. It's a runner-up.
If you took Coke, I would take Dr. Pepper. I would go with a Mr. Pibb or Pibb Extra Dr. Pepper.
Pib is good too. I like Dr. Pepper better than Pib, though. I think just for longevity, I think I do.
I got to tell you, if we did a blind taste test, I'm not sure that I could. Could you taste the difference between Mr. Pibb? Or it's not even Mr. Pibb anymore. It's called
Pibb Extra, I think.
Yeah.
I think I could.
You think you could? Okay.
Yeah, we should do that in the office one day. Is do a
We
blind
should do
soda, a soda lineup.
Well, but it's got to be like, Pibb Extra, Dr. Pepper 10, Diet Dr. Pepper, like all the different funky derivatives of like one sort of genre. Like I do feel pretty confident I would be able to taste the difference between Coca-Cola, Diet Coke, and Coke Zero. I think all of us could do that.
I think probably
Right.
the sugar factor would. Yeah,
Years ago, we did all of the beers. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We did a bunch of beers
all
in
of
the
them.
office.
Every single one of them.
No, it was, what was it? It was like 6 to 8 beers or something, wasn't it? It was like Natty Light, Coors
all
Light, Bud
domestic,
Light. It was
yeah.
all the
It's all the
domestic light,
domestic.
Miller Light, all the things. I bet, well, I don't, newsflash, I don't drink a lot of those beers. I did not do well on that blind taste test at all. I think I got like 2 out of 8 or 10 or something like that. Did you do well on that? I can't,
I think I did okay, but I don't really drink those beers, so that's not my.
Yeah, well, exactly. It wasn't really our jam. So.
Coors Light, I can spot a mile away.
That's back when Takis were in, and then we had that whole remember all the Taki? We were always
So gross.
oh god, why do kids love the Takis so much?
Or they, although they may have kind of.
Fizzled out.
And we don't have them in our house anymore. We used to always have them in our house, but we don't have. It's no one asks for them anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if my kids eat them at school or not. I mean, our kids have gotten older;
course.
they're not in middle school anymore. So. Yeah, Takis, not a thing. But yeah, the blind type. Okay, so Coca-Cola, Hershey bar,
sounds
Bob
pretty
Marley.
good.
I'm going Live After Death, Dr. Pepper, and Take 5.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. All right, what's your
All right.
all right? Last one or whatever, and we'll get out of here on our Friday Fun Day. Give me your top sandwiches of all time. Places, locations.
Wait.
things
Oh,
like
you
that.
mean so it has to be location or type of sandwich?
Either or. I mean, this is a wild card. This is a burp, 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 burp sound effect,
Yeah.
like wild card. Like for example, I would go Cool Corners. Cuban, Atlanta. Right. Cool Corners doesn't exist anymore. You can't get that. But that for me, dude, that's a top 5 sandwich of all time. You
Yeah.
know? Like that was never disappointed. For those that know traditional Atlanta, old school Atlanta, 90s, early 2000s, like if you knew Cool Corners, you knew, you're in. You know what I mean? So
I would say, and mine's going to be a very obscure reference, but as a,
more obscure, the better.
sandwich in general, I am a sucker for a BLT.
okay,
And there,
classic sandwich, dude.
and there used to be a place in Decatur. It was burned down by a fire, unfortunately. But a
boo.
place called the Fifth Earl.
Okay,
And it was next to what is the pool hall that's oh gosh, I'm blanking on it in downtown Decatur. It's kind of
I wouldn't know.
not Twain's, but it's called, oh my gosh, I forget. Anyway, it's not important. The Fifth Earl was a little sandwich shop in Decatur, and they had the best BLT
that you've ever had.
I've ever had.
Okay. Big, thick, juicy tomatoes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Just big, all fresh ingredients, all fresh tomatoes, all good local Pine Street bacon, and it was just solid. That's a good sandwich.
I think I've got one we would both agree on.
Go ahead.
French dip from Houston's.
Yeah, it's been a minute. That's a great sandwich. It was a great sandwich.
Well,
I don't know
again,
if it's still a great sandwich
We're
or
talking
not, but
nostalgia.
that's a classic.
It's not as good as it used to be.
That's a
From the
classic.
Hillstone takeover, which is not a knock on Hillstone. I think it was just a time capsule sandwich. That's what
It
we're
was
calling
a
it.
good sandwich.
Yeah, that was a good one. I will also accept, I believe it's called, because we were talking about this the other day, the Highlander. Didn't they have the Lionel? That was a French dip over at that place forever too, and that was a delicious sandwich.
Maybe, but I don't know that I ever.
The Lionel.
I didn't do a lot of eating at the Highlander. More drinking.
It's a drinking place.
More drinking
Yeah,
than I did
it's
eating.
a, like I need a shot and a beer.
But they
kind
had
of
tater
place.
tots. They always had like
get the
classic
Lionel with
tater
the tots.
tots and like.
They also had a all-you-can-eat snow crabs on a Tuesday
you
night.
used to go
dude,
do-
I used to
you
go
used to go do
I used to
that.
go to that with Principal Matt.
That,
Dude, Matt, who's been on the podcast before. That was, dude. Those were awesome. Not advertised. You kind of had to know. you
Yeah.
know? And then you'd kind of show up and be like, "Hey, are you guys still doing the?" Be like, "Oh yeah, it's going on." Be like, "All right, we're
Here's
in."
my curveball sandwich.
Okay. I'll accept a hot dog or a hamburger, like whatever.
No, I'm
Those
gonna
are sandwiches,
say
too.
I'm gonna say it is the it's a I go to it all the time. I'm gonna give a shout out to Jersey Mike's
Oh boy.
for the roast beef and provolone.
Okay, you're not gonna go Philly from
No,
Jersey Mike's.
their
Philly's good.
Their Philly's good.
Yeah.
Their cheesesteak is good.
Okay, yeah.
But all the time I go to them for their just straight up roast beef and provolone.
Roast beef and provolone.
Yeah, it's a boring sandwich.
yeah. No,
It goes well with a Hershey bar for dessert. And a
wash
Coke.
it down
Wash
with
it down with a Coke and a Hershey bar.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'd be in a food coma if I ate all three of those things at once. Like I know I'm not 20 anymore. You know?
know, right?
So, those are the. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
again, if we sat here for 10 more minutes, we'd come up with
BLT
more.
would be my one island sandwich. If I had to pick an island sandwich, I'd go BLT.
I mean, honestly, that's not a bad one. You can't pick like a Philly or a heavy meat lover sandwich.
You could go club if you needed a little bit more meat in there. You get a little turkey and
I'll
stuff.
tell you what, man. The best club sandwiches I ever had are at my neighborhood pool. Back when teenagers used to run the snack bar and
Yeah.
put like an entire box of like deli meat. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like a 6-inch tall club sandwich, toasted. It would take 26 minutes for a 14-year-old to make this. I mean, it would be like order it at one Adult Swim, pick it up at the next Adult Swim. But I'm telling you, man, those things
love a good
were
club sandwich.
delicious. Yeah,
Reliable,
little toothpicks in there.
little toasted bun.
Yeah, good times, good times.
All right, folks.
All right, Friday fun day.
Friday fun day.
Hopefully you're listening to this on a Monday and it's cheering you up and getting you ready for a Friday. How about
We'll
that?
see you on the island.
Yeah, send us your hot takes, you know?
Yeah.
So,
All right, everybody. You know where to find us online at mocktheagency.com, of course, or find us on the socials. We're pretty easy to track down. And have a wonderful weekend, everybody, even if it's not your weekend.
seriously, it's weekend somewhere. Bye.